So, yo, Rando Live. I'm gonna come on camera here in a second. I know y'all thinking I'm trash. My bad. I'm gonna work really hard on this shit. My life just too it's too ain't no struck. My shit don't have much structure. I get on here when I can. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna talk about Tyler Perry and him trying to dodge the inevitable for every black child born on this earth. Black parents are trying to run from this truth or protect their children from this truth, but it's impossible. And I'll talk about the flaw in this mentality as we deal with this. Y'all, I'm gonna play a little music. Y'all know how I get down. Give people time, and we're gonna go right in here. All right? Y'all hit that like button on your way in.
Hey, Craven. Yeah, man. This shit is gorgeous right here. It's glorious. Perfect backdrop. Let me paint this scene for y'all. This shit is glory, man. Yeah. So look. Let's get it. Look, first time I seen her face explode was about 8 years old. My mother prayed so she can save my soul. It changed my goals, seeing brains exposed. No one explained it though. Everything is lit when you living, but your grave is cold. Y'all don't really wonder what duffels. Ain't no exchanging blows. Shotties blow you out of your fit. Look like you changing clothes. Yeah, you heard them painful groans. Choppers hang you up when they ring. Think you should change your tone? Honestly, I'm one of the greatest, but never claimed this throne. I don't need no spins on your playlist. My shit's engraved in stone. These labels got too many slaves to own. That's why I'm working behind the scenes to get something for y'all to claim and own. King Leonidas when he reigned in Rome. Painted scrolls, ancient poems, buried by kings, right where they laid his bones. Yeah, still y'all remain some clones. Hope you die a horrible death and suffering pain alone. Became apparent I was raising chrome. High as any plane or drone. Killers with guns that they never aimed and blown. Wiretaps that got arranged in phones. Don't be that nigga that's coming back from that party and find a stranger home. Yeah. Oh man. This shit is luxurious. This torture is luxurious. This shit I'm giving y'all. Oh, yeah. Let's get it.
Y'all come on in and hit that like button on your way in here. We're gonna get started shortly.
Imagine these streets without savagery. Can never be beef without tragedies. Can never be sleep without agony. I close my eyes and see catastrophes. Violently splash words on this canvas that's nothing short of a masterpiece. Stuff the floor in my jacket sleeve and head out. Go see my nigga Sean, he was fresh out. He told me, Ran, you the best out. That's right before Crazy Rick pulled his tech out. Shots was fired, Sean hit the pavement, he squeezed my hand as he bled out. Dark figures and hooded silhouettes keep my pillows wet as widows left with two little soldiers. I wish those kiddos best. Now I'm downstate doing 2 to 5 for a shooting out. Probably did a couple months back when I was a ruthless guy. Scrutinized and crucified. Who decides? We gon' keep hanging long as that noose is high. Who survives? Mother of 2, she committed suicide. The truth is I blame myself cause I kinda knew the vibe. Look me right in my pupil eye with stupid high confusing lies. Told her my pistol jam, that's my foolish pride. She returned with a few replies. Ray, you not that same killer. That's just what you described. It's all over. It's all over. It's over. You're coming back home to me. Imagine a war with no casualties. Can never be close without shallow needs. I transfer this pain through piano keys and slow guitar riffs. Music that planted the seeds.
Okay.
Pray that my auntie pull through from that damn disease. Meanwhile, it's true out in Philly. Who's out to kill me? 5K from Mexican robber. Make most of my family grieve. Contrast my killers with tatted faces. I'm that abrasive. Got visions of sneakers with blood splattered laces. I'ma probably die on these wretched corners because death is on this affidavit.
Hold on. Let me get this off here. Let me get this off here because, again, listen, I'm not giving people a whole lot of time. If you're watching the playback, mad love to you. Share it, like it, follow me, all this shit. First and foremost, y'all listen. Shout out Team Rob. Y'all already know what the fuck it is. Black first, second, and third. And I saw, let me just address this comment real quick that I saw jump over here. Jeremy says, let me put it up on screen here. Let me just address this real quick. Y'all need to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And some of this stuff y'all be talking about, I be done dealt with it already, right? But he says, before you start, did you see what Donald Glover was caught wearing? I might not watch Atlanta after that. Let me tell you something about Childish Gambino. Real quick. This is just a real quick reminder. He was kissing a white man in the mouth way before he put on this gay ass outfit that he's wearing that he was caught wearing. He wasn't caught wearing it. He put that shit on with pride and walked the fuck out the house. He was not caught. I don't know who y'all be thinking these people are. But do some Google research and you'll see him kissing a whole white man in the mouth. So should you have been watching Atlanta to begin with? That's all I'm saying. I don't know. But we're not here to talk about homo fashion tonight. Okay? We're not here to talk about that. Also, Childish is laying in the caves, and them cave laying guys, a lot of them be on that type of time anyway. We're not here to talk about that tonight. We're going to be talking about a black man that we know as Tyler Perry, who some of you know as Medea, who has the mentality that a lot of black parents have. A lot of these black parents, black Christians, they have this mentality. We talked about this mentality on the last live I did on here, where we're dealing with how black people are being disappointed by how their children are being treated at these fucking amusement parks, water parks, and whatever other type of parks is out here. Okay? Black people are failing our children. As you see, I got on a legend as it pertains to black consciousness, black intellect, black academia, Dr. Francis Cresswellsing. And if you don't want your kids to worship white folk, you might want to put them on black, you know what I'm saying? And if you want to do that, then I have those links in the description box. If you want to order this t-shirt. If you read the quote, it says, "I will not rest until black children are taught to love themselves as themselves." Now, I'm going to expound on that idea that is the responsibility of black parents. Can't nobody else do that. Can't nobody else prepare your kid for the world in which they are black. Nobody else can do that work. It doesn't matter how much you want the work to be done for you. None of that shit matter. You have to do that work. And it's this mentality that Tyler Perry has. A lot of parents have. A lot of black parents have this mentality. I'm going to share the screen. Let me do this. And some of y'all saw my last live. If you did, I appreciate you. If you did not, go back and catch it. We went in right there. We have this idea that there is some form of protection for our children via lies, manipulation, denying reality. We feel like there's protection in that for black children. There is not. Says here, Tyler Perry explains why he's delaying conversation about race with his 7-year-old son. How many of y'all knew Tyler Perry had a son? Show of hands. How many of y'all knew that? Because I'm going to tell you, before I was sent this, I didn't know that. How many of y'all knew Tyler Perry had a 7-year-old son? Y'all can be honest. I'll look in the comments. How many of y'all knew that? I didn't know that. I didn't know Tyler Perry had a son. I didn't know Tyler Perry had a girlfriend. I didn't know any of that. Okay? This is all new information to me. Didn't know any of this. Medea got a son. Oh, shit. Okay. Didn't know that, and didn't know he had a girlfriend. Okay? Didn't know any of that. But he explains why he's delaying the conversation. I'll go down here into the article. We're going to read it. Says here, Tyler Perry has spoken candidly about why he's been holding out on having a discussion about race with his 7-year-old son, Amon. And I could be saying that wrong, but the way it looks is like Amon. The 52-year-old actor opened up about raising his child, who he shares with his ex, Gilia Beckel. I'm not familiar with her. I didn't know he ever had any type of girlfriend or anything like that. During a recent conversation with the AARP, the magazine, for his August-September cover story, during the interview, Perry said that he was holding off having a conversation about race with his son for as long as he can, so that he can protect the 7-year-old from the eventual loss of innocence. Y'all, I talked about this concept that Black people use when they talk about protecting their children from innocence. I talked about this concept, and what it is really is Black people are choosing to lie to their children. That's what it really is. We can call it protecting children from innocence, but what it really is Black people would rather lie to our children, create this facade for them, so then the world can bust that motherfucking bubble. We like to set our children up like that for reasons I can't even fully understand. But this is not just about Tyler Perry. This is a mentality that Black parents share across the board. Across the board. I'll continue. I haven't had the conversation with Amon because he's only 7, and I want to hold out as long as I can. He explained. I don't want to tell him that there are people who will judge him because of his skin color, because of the color of his skin. Now, y'all listen. If you want to set your Black kids up like this, I'm not in nobody's household telling y'all what to do, but this doesn't work. Okay, this doesn't work. He says because right now he's in a school with every race, and all these kids are in their purest form. That's what he believes, that children are pure, that these little cave kids aren't getting taught lessons about race. They're being taught to love everybody. Let me come back out of this screen real quick, and I want y'all to see my face. Let me see, can I put myself up on this damn thing here? No, that ain't right. Listen, Black people, while you're sitting out here lying to your children about race, creating this facade, this mirage just of a reality that you want to create, the caves aren't doing that. They may not be teaching their kids to outright blatantly disrespect your child, but their children are being taught certain things about what that Black skin equals, what that Black skin means, and how to look out for their own. When we talked about this, I told y'all it's not about teaching your children to hate the caves. It's not about that. That's the small picture. What you must make sure your Black child understands is that they do not need to be seeking validation or love, nor can these caves disappoint them by them caves doing what they're going to inevitably do and choosing themselves. The caves are going to choose the caves. If it comes to you against them, they're going to choose them. And you only setting your child up by making sure that they don't understand that. To where they're not disappointed if little, Billy or little Amy decides to side with the caves. Your black child looks at that and say, I was warned about this. Okay. That's not teaching hate. A lot of these black parents out here believe that if you prepare your child, you teach hate, they ain't got nothing to do with hate. 7 years old. I would argue that by the time that they are integrated in any school system, and that's going to happen normally in kindergarten at 5 years old, a child not going to understand all the concepts and nuance of racism at 5 years old, but they need to understand that these people that are not black may treat you a different type of way. They may treat you that way. Do not feel bad about yourself due to them being that way. You are beautiful. You are smart. You are intelligent, and you deserve everything and more. So that way they don't have low self-esteem. Because if you teach them to seek validation from the caves, they're going to have low self-esteem because the caves ain't going to give it to them. Nor is the society that they're living in going to give them that validation either. That's your job. This is a job that a lot of black parents want to skip around and dance around and call themselves protecting some type of innocence. It doesn't make any sense. It's not about teaching hate. And that's the thing I try to clarify to black people. This has nothing to do with hate at all. You're teaching your child to expect them to be caves. Expect them to be who they are. So you're not coming home crying about little Billy done chose to jump over there and, call you a nigger because all their little white friends was around. You're not tripping over that. Your kid not hurt because of that. They understand. Oh, that's what them white cave parents is teaching their children, to choose themselves. Black parents have this idea that they're going to create this world, this mirage, this illusion, and we're leading our children astray. So when they get in situations where they are dealing with racism or they are at an amusement park and they get ignored, they feel in some type of way because you didn't prepare them for the world that was outside their door. That's your job. That's your job. Let me go back. Let's go back to the article. Hold on. Let me scroll it down real quick so y'all can see it. Tyler Perry goes on to say here, he says, when he describes his friends, he never defines them by race, Perry continued. So the moment he loses that innocence is going to be a very, very sad day for me. Why the fuck are you sad? Don't be sad. You're preparing your child for the reality in which they live. That's not an innocence. That's an ignorance. See, black people got to swap these words out. Y'all not going to fool me with these words. That's not an innocence. That's an ignorance that you're wanting your child to fall victim to. That's not innocence. That's ignorance. Sound the same a little bit. I can see how maybe you get them confused, but that is not innocence. That's ignorance. Yeah. You don't have to teach your child to hate white people. You don't got to do that. But they need to understand that they don't have no friends in non-black groups. And you better teach them to watch out for these little coons too. You better do the whole thing. Because he said when he describes his friends, anytime my children come to me talking about their friends, I make sure they understand that these friends, especially at this young age, this child is 7. I mean, friends is a subjective term. Even grown folks use it wrong. I make sure they even understand what the fuck a friend is early. That's outside of the race conversation. How they your friend? Y'all spend a little time together at recess or something like that? Is the playground for about 20 minutes? Y'all. Friend is a big term. I feel like it's one that's overused, just like y'all use love. Like it's one of them terms we just toss around. I'm already teaching on what friend is first. I don't even let my kids believe they got no friends. Y'all can call me wrong. It is what it is. I make sure they understand what a friend is and how a friend conducts themselves, how a friend operates. A friend is not punching you in the fucking stomach one day and then trying to be your friend the next day again. Not making fun of you one day, talking shit to you about you one day, and then come Thursday they want to be cool again. That's not a friend. That's why a lot of grown folks got what a friend is confused, because our parents, let us believe that we had friends. Where are they now? Where are your friends when you were 7? I'm not saying you can't have a friend when you're 7, and those friends can't last, but come on now. That's few and far between. I don't give a damn what race they are. These little motherfuckers want to change up. They want your friends. Now, whenever that friendship is severed, or this friend over here may be on some bullshit against your child's not disappointed and sad because you explained to them already, that ain't it. We set our kids up for failure and heartbreak early. This is even outside of a racial conversation. Explain to your children how friends conduct themselves. Y'all don't want to do it. You want to leave your kids in this world. Well, what you're doing is you're setting your kid up to be hurt and disappointed by people for pretty much the remainder of their whole lives. And this is why you got these grown people out here hurt, sad as fuck, hurt and sad, disappointed, depressed, because they thought. That's our job as parents. This ain't got nothing to do with hate. You can't protect your child's innocence. It can't be done. I don't know what the hell y'all talking about, especially now with how technology is moving and the access to information these kids got, these devices that will buy them, put them in their hands, that literally lets them see damn near anything in the world, and you trying to protect their innocence? How? And if they don't have a phone, their friend got a phone and they showing them all types of little shit. Like, you see that? You can't protect them. You can't. Not protect. You can prepare them. Your protection comes in preparation at that point. Your protection comes in preparation at that point. Let's get back. Let's get back to it. Says, however, the filmmaker said that he will talk to his sons about the harsh realities of racial discrimination soon, as he noted that the 7-year-old is already asking really tough questions. Where do you think you're getting them questions from? Medea. Where do you think you're getting it from? Those people that he around, you say he's at a school with different races, he's having to deal with some shit, which is the reason he's coming to you with those really tough questions. He's being exposed to information via the internet, via social media, via his peer circles. That's why he's already asking you really tough questions at 7, because you done created this innocence that you protected him from that don't exist. It doesn't exist. So if he already asking you really tough questions, then what the hell are you talking about you going to one day? You need to be going ahead and doing it now. The one day is now. Says here, before sharing how he wants Aman to be someone who speaks out against injustices. So he wants his kid to be an activist. Says here, I know it's coming though, because he's already asking some really tough questions. Let me come out of this screen, because I'm really done with it. He's not saying anything different out here. Black parents say all the time. Let me come out of here. Listen. Tyler Perry. If your child is already asking tough questions, and it's not because you done educated him in any type of way, you've admitted that you haven't, where are those questions coming from? Peer groups, people around him. He may be having to deal with some forms of shade, is what y'all will call it nowadays. Some shade from other races of people. He may not fully be understanding that. He may see headlines talking about Black people being murdered by cops. 3Ks, don't get this shit fucked up. He may be seeing those things, and he may want an explanation. So how are you answering these really tough questions? Because the questions ain't really that hard. Questions aren't that hard. You make them hard by not wanting to deal with them. Questions aren't tough. You understand what the hell going on out here. And that's regardless of we dealing with. Now, Tyler Perry, this is a black man with money. Got a couple dollars on him. A lot of these black people feel like if they reach a certain status, that maybe their child can transcend race. Maybe they themselves can transcend race. I think that's part of the problem in this Brittany Griner situation. She may have thought, or some of y'all saying it's a he or she, I don't know what, but she, for, sake of the conversation, she may have thought, I shoot some hoops. People see my face on TV. I'm good all over the place. I'm good in any hood. She may have thought. I think wasn't it one of y'all's favorite coons, Oprah Winfrey, some years back, got humbled in another country at a store, got followed around like she was just a little nobody, like she was nothing. You don't transcend race with money. A lot of these coons believe you can. That's why they so focused on securing all these bags. Because they think they're going, if they live in a big house, get them a Maybach and maybe get them a nice watch and some jewelry and, dress a certain way, they'll be able to avoid forms of racism. Nope. Tyler Perry is considered one of the affluent black people. Also, he would deem himself as a Christian. So he's already used to feeding his kid fairy tales anyway. He wants to keep that dream, keep that illusion going for his child. But you can't. You're doing your black child a disservice by doing that. Again, this is not about Tyler Perry. I talk to black parents about this stuff all the time. And they think something wrong with me. Because I'm not teaching my children to hate the caves, but they're going to know who the fuck the caves are. And they're going to understand that them caves are going to side with themselves. And you're not going to be shocked by that. You're not going to be saddened by it. You're not going to be devastated by it. You're not going to be shocked by it. This is why you have grown people running around here right now, and some racist shit will happen. And they'll act like, they can't even believe what the fuck going on. You can't believe it? That's who these people are. Whether you want them to be or not, you did not create the society. You didn't. It's not your fault that they act like that. It's not. You shouldn't have to go through this and teach your black child this. Not a natural state of being. But if we're going to let these motherfuckers run around here in control of all the shit they in control of, this reality, then you must prepare your child. You must. That is your duty as a parent. You do not love your black child if you're continuing to push forward this facade. If the caves are able to hurt their feelings by choosing the caves, then you failing your child. If they are shocked by maybe say, and sometimes you'll deal with those Indians, and not the Indians, not Native American Indians, but Indians from India. Some of them will be darker than me and hate black people. Some of these so-called Hispanics, they will consider themselves a black and brown coalition. They can consider themselves a minority when it's convenient for them, but they hate black people. That ain't your kid's fault, but you better prepare them for that. You better prepare them for that. Because what if your kid hanging one of these little kids at school, at recess, maybe that other child's parent come one day, snatch their kid up. Now, your little black kid that you didn't prepare don't understand why this grown parent, this grown goddamn Mexican acting like this. Snatching that kid away from your black kid. And your kid is dealing with, that could basically may have some trauma from that. Like, okay, well, I don't even understand why the fuck this motherfucker acting like this. Indian motherfucker, your hair might be straight, but motherfucker, you darker than me. What the fuck? Why your parent come snatch you away from me? What's the problem? What's the issue? The problem is that black parent didn't prepare their black child for motherfuckers that's gonna act like that. That's the problem. Yeah. By the time you sending your child to these schools, you better be doing the work. Ain't got nothing to do with hate. Nothing. One of my kids will see they maybe at recess one of these little caves, and a cave parent come snatch their kid away. My kid not gonna take a shot to their confidence and how they feel about themselves. They're gonna know, oh, that's a cave parent. That's how they must not have been supposed to be around like that. So it's okay. I'm not saddened by that. That doesn't affect me. Not gonna make me feel inferior because that parent is acting like that. There is no protected innocence. Black children have that stripped away from them at birth. Immediately upon conception, that innocence is stripped away, and it's out of your control about that part. It's out of your control. Because look at this. Let me show y'all something. This is while the mom is even giving labor. Black women are 3 times more likely to die during childbirth than other races of women. Your child is dealing with racism before it's even born. That's not your child's fault. It's not your fault. But that's the society. The fact that they may lose their mama be on the goddamn table right there giving birth to them, because that's how black women are treated in this system. You can't protect them from that. That's immediately. That's immediately. Not their fault. Not your fault. That's immediately. That's the system they born in, where they mama, because she's a black woman, is 3 times more likely to die giving birth. Not because she has an inferior womb or anything like that, because the motherfucking doctors in this goddamn country don't give a fuck about black women. Those facts. Those facts. Not your child's fault. Not your fault. Just facts. Fucked up. Yes. But those are the facts. You cannot protect your child against that by telling them that ain't a thing, because they only 7. Before they even in this world, before they see light, before they take their first breath, they dealing with racism. That's not me being extreme. That's just what it is. What you mean? And Tyler, I'm sure, already feeding his child this, God indoctrination. It's Jesus, it's cave Jesus indoctrination. He's already doing that, giving them those fairy tales. So we'll feed our kids fairy tales, but the truth is what's too much for them. We'll ask them to fathom a boat with every animal in the world. We'll ask them to fathom a motherfucker walking on water. We'll ask them to fathom a white man dying for their sins. We'll ask them to fathom these things. Adam and Eve and well, through, wait, okay, so one, they have a kid and another kid and another kid, sons, but somehow this group of 5 populated the entire earth. You'll ask them to fathom that as truth. But they can't deal with how folk gonna treat them in society. That's taking their innocence away. You'll give them the creation story as, incest. I mean, essentially, that's what it was. I don't know who the 3 sons. I mean, y'all can, and this is us taking a little praise break to poke a little fun at these Christians. But your kids can fathom this. You can teach them this is the truth. This is reality. A white man and a white woman is where your black ass came from. Where you came from. A group of 5 caves. Teach your kid this as reality. Have them fathom this as the truth, but they can't deal with the reality of racism? Is it because the very caves you teach them to worship are the ones doing all this shit? Is it some form of cognitive dissonance for you? Black Christian parents, I mean, most black people are, in this nation, at least, they're going to be Christian or believe in Jesus and God. Is it cognitive dissonance for you? Is that hard for you to fathom? The very people, the motherfucker you teaching your kid die for your sins is the very motherfucker standing there in front of your kid with a gun to their motherfucking head and liable to shoot him 60 times. Is it hard for you? Is that what you don't want to? Now, again, to be fair on Tyler, Medea, to be fair, he did say he was going to come into it at some point, but I would argue you better start earlier than 7. You better start earlier than that. As soon as you put your kid in this situation where they're going to be around other races of people and their teacher may be of an opposite race as well. And you know how y'all see videos of where you'll see black children at a school and they'll be doing like a slave auction and the parents will find out on some old other shit. They'll have racist homework coming home and shit like that. I've seen videos where black children will have like almost being walked like dogs. And the school will end up apologizing or some stupid ass shit like that. But you know how that black child ended up in that position? Because you taught them that they can trust this cave. Anything this cave says goes. Come on, Daquan. Come on. We're going to have you acting like you picking cotton. And we're going to have this little white kid act like they your goddamn massa. That's happening to children in elementary school. So it's not my fault that it's happening. So when people tell me, well, you teaching your kids, hey, no the fuck I ain't. I'm not the one doing this shit at these elementary schools. Those be cave teachers doing that shit. That'll have your kid fucked up. They'll have your black child fucked up because you didn't teach your black child boundaries. Now, I'm going to sit this one out. Oh, yeah, I'm sitting this one out. Miss Bridges, fuck you, call my mama. It is what it is. I'm going to sit this one out. We've all seen those stories. And how it happens is because black folk trying to protect their kids' innocence. One of the generational curses, we talked about this, generational curse that black people don't even acknowledge. Passing down this bullshit, this cognitive dissonance, waiting on white people to change or some shit like that. Maybe, just maybe, by the time my kid 11, all this shit will be over with. By the time they get 18, it'll be over and done with. Maybe I'll get all this money and it'll be over with and done with, and my kid won't have to deal with that. I'll send them to a private school. Maybe in a private school, they won't have to deal with that. Because Tyler Perry said his kid was at a school with different races, but I bet you, if considering the tax bracket Tyler Perry is in, he's probably at a private school. And those private schools are mostly full of caves. I'm not saying it ain't a couple of black folks sprinkled around through there, but that's mostly cave schools. Prepare your children. There's nothing racist about that, black people. Absolutely nothing racist about that. Do you want your kid to be the one that's in a class and the teacher's telling your kid to do some more weirdo, crazy shit and your kid just do it because you didn't teach them? You didn't show them? You felt like they was too young? That's the situation we set ourselves up for. So when I see these videos, and of course, black folk be mad. Get the teacher fired. I mean, okay, fire the fucking teacher. The school need to apologize. Okay, school need to apologize. Lawsuit, lawsuit, lawsuit. Okay, get y'all a couple dollars out of it. What about these children, though? Nobody ever talking about the kids. These children that were sent out here misinformed, giving a mirage, giving this illusion. What about them? What are you going to do about that? How are you going to remedy that? That matters. When we going to fix this? Because we're in direct, and to me, we have complete power in this situation. Now, in a lot of situations, you may not have power. The white man and his mama run a lot of shit out here. In this situation where your kids are concerned, and you creating a reality that your kids understand who they are in this reality. It doesn't mean that you teach them that they're inferior at all. But because you're not teaching them they're inferior, they don't expect these things from these people. I don't need validation for no damn cave. I validate me, myself. That's not teaching inferiority. A lot of people will argue, and some of the comments I was reading on this article, that was, saying shit like, well, if you teach them about race, you automatically teach them inferiority. No, I'm teaching them to be a person that your cave ass kid not gonna be able to take advantage of. They're not following in behind you to seek validation or to be cool or feel validated, to feel pride or feel confidence. They're not needing it from you because you're not gonna give it to them. You're not going to give it to them because you're not teaching your kids. Caves ain't teaching their kids that type of shit. They're not. Oh, let me get some of y'all's comments earlier today. If y'all have, listen, if you following me and you understand what I'm saying, put a B123 in the chat. Hit that like button for me. Share the video. Do all that cool hot shit. Subscribe to the channel because we be here getting it in. Okay? Because I want Black people to understand some of this stuff we have to take. We can take it. It's us. We control it. These are kids. You teaching them. You teaching them. And Tyler Perry is just one of. I mean, I see somebody say, well, he been a sellout. This ain't got nothing to do with that. This is a natural phenomenon that Black people keep ignoring. And to me, it's getting to the point now where it drives me crazy and nobody wants to address it. There are coons all over the place. Not want to teach our kids about race, teaching them that they're going to, somehow be, smart enough to, circumvent the whole situation. No, you're not. You're not going to do that. You're not going to be able to do it. Not going to happen. To where you'll fuck around and have your kid being mistreated and they don't even recognize it enough to tell you they're being mistreated. They don't even know that anything's wrong. You didn't teach them that was wrong. Let a teacher hold a mock slave auction with you or with your kid in that class. You didn't teach them that was wrong. And that these motherfuckers out here acting like this. Because you still want your kid to see white folk is all good. Like Tyler Perry said, oh, these kids, they innocent. They all innocent. It's not true. It's not true. And if it is true for a moment, it ain't going to stay true. That might be true on Monday. They might have been innocent. Little Sally might have went and got that lesson from her daddy and mama on Tuesday night. When she got to the house, she might have got that whole lesson on how to hate the nigga in this country. That could have been Tuesday night. Monday, it might have been true. Monday, hey, maybe it was some innocent kids in that motherfucker. Come Tuesday, little Sally Ann, little Mary Lou, little Bradley, he got that lesson Tuesday night. Parents went on ahead and filled him in on Tuesday. Come Wednesday, they're treating your kid like, get the fuck away from me. You're subservient to me. You should be serving me. You even see in middle school where they'll have these middle school cave kids that'll be calling other black children in middle school slaves and shit. Y'all done seen it. Call them slaves, call them niggers. Was it on a Tuesday or Wednesday they got this lesson? Because they was innocent kids. How do you explain the transition then? How you explain that? Y'all gonna keep acting like it's not cave parents teaching their kids this stuff? Because cave parents is good, right? You setting your black child up, black people. You setting your black child up. If you don't tell them. But let me, like I said, I'm gonna get some of y'all's comments. I'm paying attention to the comments now. That's funny. He gonna say money. Nap said, forget what race. How is he gonna explain Medea to his son? He's gonna say money. Black people use money to explain whatever fuckery that they do that they get money from. Black people are able to explain that to their children by saying, well, this is how I get money. And thusly setting their kid up for, well, you do anything for money. Y'all, I mean, where do you think black people get this shit from? They get that directly from their parents. There's a lot of things that we see grow in our children that we don't want to take responsibility for. We'll say it's society, it was the public school system. We'll put it on everything. Black people will tell their children very directly that selling out is cool. Do it for money. That's taught. I don't give a damn what nobody say. That's taught. All you gotta tell this kid is, oh, well, that's how I got my money. I'm a millionaire because of that. And this kid will be like, word. You're not gonna have no problem. Promise you that. Promise won't be no issue. We teaching our kids this stuff. Cat Assassin Final Boss says exactly. They're already trying to ban CRT. Let them ban it. This is another situation I have with black folk. Why the hell do you want white folk to teach your kids critical race theory? I don't even understand that. Why do you need white teachers to do this work for you? Let them ban CRT. Who gives a fuck? Black people picked up this cause and was crying about it, but who cares? That ain't their job. That's your job. I'm tired of us trying to pass off our work on white folk. Like, that ain't their job, yo. Let them ban CRT all over the place. I don't care. This doesn't bother me. Says they're going to rename slavery to involuntary relocation. So what? What you going to teach your kid at home? What are you going to teach them slavery was? That's what's going to matter. Because when a motherfucker, I'm going to tell you something. When a motherfucker tell your kids some bullshit, now kids are very honest. A lot of times they're very honest. Motherfucker try to tell your kids some bullshit, what they going to say? That's one of the kids' favorite. My mama said, my daddy said, quit playing with me. Well, my daddy ain't said nothing about no involuntary relocation. Fuck you talking about? That ain't what my daddy said. You lying. A kid will tell a motherfucker that. They that honest. We not. They lose this type of honesty as they get older and y'all start falling into all these goddamn lies. But, man, a kid will say that shit to you in a minute. Fuck you talking about? That ain't what my mama did. Shit, involuntary my ass. I seen them chains. They showed me the pictures. It's facts. Let them take CRT out. I don't need white folk teaching my kids about racism anyway, because they don't do it right anyway. If you paying attention, they don't do it right anyway. They pick it up. I mean, you get what Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King, and then we hear. Well, they might cover Barack because he is the product of Martin Luther King's dream, But they don't teach racism, right? They don't teach nothing about. They don't teach that shit right. No way. I don't need them doing that work for me. I got mine. We all set over here. Yeah. We all set. Because they really don't even want to teach you about Harriet. If they could, they would skip over her too. They want to pick up with Martin Luther King. Well, one day he had a goddamn dream, and now we live in it. We live in it, yo. We stop fucking y'all up. Don't worry about that. Those signs, the water fountains, the back of the bus, man. Old news. We here now. We Americans. Until the cops get behind your ass. Yeah. Until you stand in front of a judge. Yeah. Try to pull your American card in front of a judge and see what they tell your motherfucker that. What's that group of guys? It's the Moors. They be talking all that shit. Stand in front of a judge with some charges and say some of that shit. See what happens. Ain't nothing about American then. Don't none of that shit matter then. Martin Luther King's dream. Don't none of that shit matter then. And then the caves will say that you deserved it. You deserved that mandatory 25 to 30. You deserved it. Try that shit then. Don't work for you then. You don't all bleed red. Like, judge, we all bleed red. Try that shit at the court. See what they tell you. White folks say shit to you that don't work. It don't pan out nowhere. Black people can't even use the information that they give them. We all bleed red, pledge allegiance. You can do all that. You can stand up in the court and say the whole pledge allegiance. You can pledge your allegiance to this motherfucker all you want to. Judge gonna look at your black ass and say 30 to life. Well, judge, all I had was it was a nickel bag of weed, bro. Like, what the fuck? 30 to life. Yeah. 30 to life. It was nice. It was good to see you reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. It's real nice. Real nice you did that. 30 to life. Get your black ass out of my goddamn face. Yeah. That's how that works. That's the reality. That's the reality. That your 12-year-old child may be treated as an adult. May be seen as an adult threat. That's how they did Tamir Rice. That's how they did him. Ain't no innocent out here. There is no innocence for us, and that's not me. And I want people to understand that's not me crying about it. It's a fucked up situation. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it ain't fucked up when it is. That's acknowledging this is the way the shit is. There's no denying it. This is facts. You're doing your child a disservice to not frame this for them as to why this happens like this, why it is how it is. All these good white folk that y'all claim exist don't really exist, because if it was that many of them, racism would have been eradicated. In particular, systemic racism, institutional racism, it will be gone. So you don't get to teach them that, it's all these good white folk running around out here. You don't get to do that, because that's a lie. That's false. It's a fallacy. You don't get to do that. Now, Tyler Perry, again, when you have the middle class, upper middle class, and then the so-called rich, those black folk have a tendency to be a little different anyway. It's hard for them to see because they have money and affluence, and that allows them to be able to get in spaces that the average would be, lower on the socioeconomic class. Black people won't be able to get into, and they be thinking they can float. They be thinking they can float, and then they get hit with RICOs, right? Then they get hit with RICOs. Then you have people, black folk, that may have made them a couple dollars. Cool. Then you fuck around and get hit with a RICO, and you like, wait a goddamn minute now. Y'all not even bringing up RICO charges on Big Farm. You really need to be bringing up RICO charges on Big Farm and them. But then they're going to say that for your black ass. You got some money. You got enough money, pay you a nice little lawyer or whatever. Y'all seen what they did? Watch this. Let me show you something. I don't think I ain't got it. I ain't gonna be able to pull it up. But I'll just tell you, and if you don't believe me, go look it up. The white bitch that got Emmett Till murdered. The state of Mississippi just said that they're not going to prosecute and bring charges up against this old bitch. Not gonna do it. At all. She got him murdered. You know how they prosecuted Bill Cosby. They're still trying to prosecute Bill Cosby. It was just a bitch talking about she was at the Playboy Mansion back in 1793, and Bill Cosby was there, and he did something to her, and she trying to come at him even now. They still trying to come after Bill Cosby. It was the late 1700s when, we was at the Playboy Mansion. It was the 1700s. Back then, I think they was even the vision was black and white. Literally, like, I see old movies and shit. Bitch, charges be so old that back then the goddamn vision was black and white. So I mean, goddamn, it was black and white. Like, what the fuck? What are you talking about, bitch? Bill Cosby just did time. This white bitch right now, she on an oxygen machine. They found her. They act like that she was lost for some reason. Black folk was. This is that performative bullshit that black folk be on, calling themselves woke. Standing outside this old bitch house, demanding to know where she at. Like, she ain't been hiding. She just old bitch. I mean, like, what the fuck? She ain't out in the streets, getting it in big like that. She an old bitch now. On oxygen somewhere, right? Prosecute Bill Cosby. They just prosecuted some old, I think he may have been a Nazi or some shit. That motherfucker was 1,000 years old. They gave him time because the so-called Jews experience, the so-called Holocaust, that's a bigger deal than anything you go through. Black man, black woman, black child, bigger than anything you go through. So they're going to let this white bitch off. And you know what I saw black folks say in the comments? Oh, well, at least she going to end up burning in hell. She ain't got much time left. Black people use religion to justify the bullshit and fuckery we go through. You know, religion, the basic concept of this religion, I'm sure Tyler Perry teaches to his son, is that, you know, God or Jesus will never put more on you than you can bear. Suffering. Black people are so accustomed to not receiving justice, now we'll say, well, when that woman dies, at least we know we're comforted in the fact that she going to hell. That gives Black people comfort, because that's how beat down and sick we are. And the reason it gave us religion, because we'll find comfort in that. This old cave bitch doing no time because your Black life don't matter, not as much. You can hold all the goddamn signs you want. You can try to tell us, and some of us will come out there and stand there and hold them with you. Your Black life don't matter. So now this white bitch gonna get to live her days and go on about her goddamn business. And black folk in comments talking about the hell she gonna be in, when according to your Bible, nobody is in heaven or hell. Let me slow that down for you and say it to you again. According to your Bible, nobody is in heaven or hell. And we understand that both of these places are imaginary at best. Nobody's in either place. So how then do you find comfort on somebody being in hell or going to hell or burning in hell when ain't nobody in hell? Read your Bible. It's not until the rapture comes that y'all gonna be judged and people gonna go to heaven or hell. It ain't until then. So right now, motherfuckers is hanging out, standing around at a bar, probably getting drunk as fuck, you know, chilling. Some would argue maybe some of them in so-called purgatory or some depiction of this middle place. The Bible even told you that ain't nobody being judged until y'all's cave Jesus float his bitch ass down out the goddamn sky. Ain't nobody in heaven. Ain't nobody in hell. So it's just as dumb for you to send this old white bitch to hell as it is for you to put angel wings and talking about your grandma went to heaven. Both things are dumb. And that's according to your Bible. I didn't do that. That's not me doing that. That's according to your Bible. Oh, they going to hell for that. When? Because it's right on the same day that your Jesus come back is the day that anybody going to hell. That may be heavy work. I want y'all to sit with that for a second. You can get mad all you want. That's what the book says. That's what the rapture is supposed to be. If that's what you believe in. Black people find comfort in this mentality. Not receiving justice here. The devil and this place of hell gonna do our light work. So, your savior is a cave. The person that's going to avenge you is also okay, because if you look at the depictions of the angels in the Bible, Lucifer was an angel, the angel of music. That's what they said. I didn't say it. Angel of music, right? All the depictions of any angels you ever seen in your life, it was all caves. Not saying that's true, just saying that's how it's depicted. And black churches don't do a good job of creating that separation. Even as they took on this slave ass religion, they don't separate. So you have cave angels, cave Jesus, cave God, Lucifer cave. Now it's a cave that's even getting you your vengeance. He gonna put this bitch through the suffering for me. No. That old white bitch gonna live and she gonna die, and it is what it is. It is what it is. I ain't do it. Wasn't me. I didn't do any of that. It is what it is. If you haven't had a chance already, y'all hit that like button for me, will you? Black people understand. That's what I want black people to understand. Anybody watching this, and I know a lot of us are here, y'all fuck with me already. So y'all here for food. Y'all here for energy. Y'all here to hear, what I have to say. Teach your kids who they are. If you can teach them fairy tales, if they can deal with fathoming fairy tales, then you can teach them the truth as to what their experience is going to be like as a black child in this country. You can teach them the truth. That's okay. They can handle it. You'd be surprised what these kids can take. What devastates them is having the lies you done fed them, having those their bubbles busted. That's what fucks them up. That's what fucks them up. And y'all use that as to, well, I gotta protect it. Well, no. It's your lies that you fed them. When they find out that you was lying, that's what fucks them up. It's not the truth. That's a lie. And parents need to stop using that lie too, because you're not gonna use it on me. You're not gonna fool me with it. Y'all do that when it comes time for y'all kids to celebrate these holidays and everything. It's always about the kids. Innocence of the kids, and all this other old extra bullshit. It's the lies you done told them. When they find out that you was lying, that's what fucks them up. Not the truth. It's either they can't handle the truth. You don't want to tell it. And it's when they find out that those lies you've been telling them, you mean it ain't no fat caveman jumping down my chimney putting these presents under this tree? It's not. That's what destroys them, because you taught them that was true. I've been sitting milking cookies out for nobody. Like, daddy was eating those. That's what fucks him up. Then, talk about that little world start moving in slow motion. They start, that meme where that dude, a black dude on that meme got all them question marks around his head. Like, these kids be like, what the fuck is... Or no, that one meme where that dude be looking like he done, I think they got it from The Wire or some shit. One of them players on there, he be looking around like, what the fuck? That's because you done fed your kids them lies. That's what fucks them up, not the truth. Y'all won't even try the truth. Y'all tell me that y'all kids need lies to function. It's disgusting to me. Y'all kids need lies to function. To have an innocent, pure childhood, you have to lie to your kids. You don't have to explain to them what anal sex is at 4 years old. Hold on. You ain't got to tell them what WAP is at 5. Okay, I get that stuff. But y'all be killing me. Acting like your kids can't handle the truth about a goddamn Easter bunny, or, or the reality of these characters on these shows. And like, come on, yo. Maybe you don't handle heavy sexual stuff for them. Maybe that's too much. I get it. But really, by the time they 10, 11, up in that age, you better start covering some of the sexual stuff too, because they're not being protected from it. It's not happening. I'm so sorry. If you think it's real, it's not. You're not protecting your kid from nothing. Only thing you have them do is get their education from other kids. That's it. That's all you're doing. You want to avoid that conversation? A lot of dads be, on me with that shit. They got daughters and shit. Like, I don't want to talk about sex with my daughter. Who gonna do it? Other little girls? Little girls is trying to have what they call in hot girl summers now. This little goddamn 11-year-olds talking about hot girl summers. I said, God damn. You don't want those little girls teaching your daughter about sex, because that's gonna be where they get the lessons from. Y'all better quit fucking playing. I know grown people that parents never talk to them about sex or anything. I know this, we going off on a sidebar, but all this stuff goes together to me as how we feed our kids all these fucking lies, or we'll just not even broach certain conversations and then send them out here in society, do whatever with them, whatever they want. You don't want your kids getting sex ed from hot girls. I promise you, you don't want that. You don't want your sons getting their understanding about sex from other little boys who their only idea of sex education is to have as much of it as they can. You don't want that. Y'all need to stop fucking playing, yo. Stop it. Stop playing. Stop playing these games. Stop feeling like you're protecting your children by lying to them or not even broaching certain conversations. It's better it comes from you, somebody that love them, somebody that ain't trying to use them, not trying to manipulate them. It's better it comes from you. I promise you. I promise you. It's too many visual shit going on. Okay, let me see what's it. Brother Roland says, Rob, did you already talk about Tierra Mack and her beat? I don't even know what Tierra Mack did. I have no idea. I'm not up on game on that, Roland. I don't know what Tierra did. Oh, no. Okay. Okay, we're going to take a praise break for Jed Mask. Says, God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Bible is all real. What about the person who wrote the Holy Bible? You left him out. Put King James in this list if you're gonna worship all these people. Put him there too. Says not white Jesus and white supremacist false Christianity. It's not accurate to misinterpret the biblical Christianity just because of white devils. What did I interpret wrong, sir? Let's say you paint the characters in the Bible black. What did I actually quote that's in the Bible that's wrong, sir? Please tell me, Jed Mask. This should be fun. What did I say it was wrong? Let's say you took Santa Claus and painted him black. Now you got a black man jumping down your chimney, right? What exactly did I misquote in the Bible? What did I say wrong that was in the Bible? If it was a black man and woman that was in the Garden of Eden, they had 3 black sons and they still fucked their mama, is that better, sir? Is that a better story for you? If a black man walked on water, that's better. Was I wrong about what I said about the rapture? You got to be a little more specific. Roland Martin says she's trying to pass a bill supporting the teaching of pleasure-based sex ed to children. I mean, in that situation with Tierra, well, you say her name was Tierra Mack. She's a politician. In situations where I'm dealing with politicians and things politicians are doing, I gotta shrug because it's like they're politicians. They're gonna do all types of wild shit. And if I'm reading this correctly, then she was the one that was doing a twerking on the headset. I did see videos on that, but that's, I mean, I'm not hating on that because you don't have to have your children indoctrinated in that system. You just don't have to. So I can't feel no type of way. I can say, you know, she's a politician, therefore she's going to be a liar, of course, and she's going to have her agendas. But I so don't give a fuck about politics, man. Like, I can't even lie to you, Roland. I don't give a fuck about no politics. I could give a fuck less because nothing that they put in these schools, if you don't like it, you don't have to deal with it. And if they're not teaching your kid what you want them to, then you teach your kid what you want them to. I don't have a problem with that shit. What's going on, Brother Ron? Says in the words of Dr. Ben, you can paint all the characters in the right. You can paint all the Bible characters black. That don't make them real. Does nothing. Does absolutely nothing. Basically, what that man is saying, if you make Batman black, that means that motherfucker got a bat cave and a Batmobile, and you know it don't make sense. But I want him to tell me what I said wrong about the Bible. Any part. No, it won't take a while. I want you to tell me what did I misquote about the Bible. You can either tell me I'm saying I'm wrong about creation. That's just one sentence. I'm wrong about what it says about the rapture. That's just one sentence. It's not a lot. I don't need you to break down. Like, I don't need you to go into it because I'm just going to ignore you if you start doing that shit. I want you to tell me, what am I saying that's not in the Bible? What's not there that I'm saying? Wait, what? What am I doing wrong? Brother said I was using the mic wrong. I don't even know. It's supposed to be on the top. Say less. Hey, Mark, watch next time I come on here. It'll be right. Watch that. That's what I'm going to do. I got you. I say exactly what you're saying. You said this right here is supposed to be at the top of the motherfucker. Been like that for years, bro. Nobody said a thing. Mad love to you. It'll be fixed next time, though. You can believe that. Yeah, I could take, see, correction, I could take that. All good. Let's just, let's just be real though. What up though? Fresh says Thanksgiving was a massacre, and y'all don't want to let that go. Those people killed so much that they were really killing themselves. Hey, don't even talk about anything that involving food. Leave black folk alone about it. Don't even deal with black folk. I used to, and if some people remember my older videos, I used to try to educate black people on the holidays. You wasting your time with the blue logo facing. Okay, I see what you're saying, bro. I see what you're saying, bro. I'll fix that. You saying it needs to be sitting straight up. I'll fix that. It's all good. So Jed Mask says everything mentioned in the Holy Scriptures is real, brother. Word for word, it's all face value. Okay, if it's real, then that means nobody is in heaven or in hell. It takes the rapture, Jesus coming back before anybody is judged and placed anywhere. If it's real, that means Adam and Eve had 3 sons, and those 3 sons fucked their mama. If you're saying it's real, that's what it is. What it is. What the fuck you mean? I don't understand what you mean. I don't know what you're saying to me. If you're saying it's real, then that means what I'm saying is real. So what's your issue? I'm speaking about the Bible as if it is real. Just to, show how fucking silly it sounds at some of the stuff that people say. So, okay. You say the Bible is real word for word. Cool. Cool. Adam and Eve, 3 sons, they fucked their mama. Here's what it is. Doesn't bother me now. If you say it's real, ain't nobody in heaven or hell, according to the Bible. Ain't nobody being judged yet. Ain't nobody being judged yet, according to the Bible. It is what it is. Y'all don't laugh him out. Hey, Ron, don't laugh him out, yo. Hey, if you saying it's real, I say word. I mean, it's whatever gets you through, that's cool. But what I'm saying is, if it is real, and if we're teaching our children that this stuff is real, and they can handle all of this that's in this book, that's real book, then they can handle reality. They can handle reality. Mm-hmm. It is what it is, y'all. Listen, that's not me trying to even be fucked up right now. This is what we're telling our children. And we tell them, well, you can handle this. You can handle every story in this book. You can handle it from beginning to end. But you can't handle the nature of these caves and how they're going to treat you. That may be too much. And that's what we got to work on. Oh, boy, here we go. What you're saying is false. Adam and Eve's sons did not sex their mother. Heaven and hell is real. You're lying. Read the Bible. You refuse the truth. Okay, where were all the bitches at then, Jed? I'm entertaining you one more time. Where was the bitches at? If they didn't have sex with their mama, and men couldn't have children back then, we're going to assume anyway, unless you're saying that they could back then, which would be fine. I mean, it'll fit into, the type of shit Christians would believe. Where were the hoes at, bro? Or you could say, you could be one of them esoteric style, that think a little deeper. You could say they was running trains on Lilith, the woman that God supposedly created before Eve. They could have been running trains on Lilith. Now, we don't know would that have been statutory back then? Or statutory, the Bible don't deal with statutory. I know that rape is cool in the Bible, but and I think you can pedophilia may be cool in the Bible as well. Don't really talk really heavy against it, but I don't know how old they would have been or what the age was. But where was the hoes in the Garden of Eden, bro? I'll wait for you. And if all them is family, I mean, and not only did the Bible let this happen twice, it happened on Noah and the ark too. Noah and the ark only had his family. How'd they repopulate the world after, God, you let it rain on motherfuckers? Like, after that happened, how did they repopulate the earth? Where was the holes at after the flood? So I want to know where the holes was at in the Garden of Eden and where the holes was at after the flood. I'll wait on you. We done got off, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Mad love to anybody that made it to this point. Y'all hit that like button for me. We done got off a little ways. But these are real questions. I want to know. Question 1, where were the holes at in the Garden of Eden? Question 2, where were the holes at after the flood? Because ironically, the Bible don't give a second creation story after the flood. Unless it does, and I'm missing a part. We can talk about it. It's okay. Where was the holes at? Because at that time, Adam was looking for the hoes because, he bit the apple, their eyes was revealed, and all this whole shit. So he was looking for hoes at that point. Where was they at? Or what hoes did his sons deal with? We'll see. If I refuse the truth, I just want you to let me know what hoes is at. Right. Bro, right. He probably Googling up some shit. I want to see what hoes is at. Like, it just is what it is. It's not me even. Like, if he's saying the Bible is true, then there's some stuff that, like, okay, all right, well, what it's 2 times there wasn't no hoes around. We got to figure out what's going on. Not me. Ask Pastor this Sunday. I don't know. Maybe when you go to Bible service, that's incest like a motherfucker. Hey, Poetic Slim, I told him the earth was created according to the Bible on incest twice. 2 times. But we're going to let him clear this up because he may, he taking some time. We're going to let him clear it up for us. Mankind was created based on incest 2 times. I don't see. He done went away. Again, the only option in the Garden of Eden is they ran a train on Lilith. That's the only way. And we know women take, did it take 9 months back then, or was they just having baby? Like, we don't know. She couldn't have been pregnant. I mean, how does this happen? Even if it was just 2 hoes out there, how do they populate the whole earth? Look at this. This is what he said. Noah's 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and whatever the fuck, each had a wife. Okay, so they all had wives. Even if you take that, you telling me that 3 men and 3 women repopulated the earth? He says more to come. You had to skip over. You telling me 3 men and 3 women repopulated the earth? And when they had those kids, wouldn't they all be family? It's one of them time where your eyes should come down a little bit. You got that squint like that one meme. Wouldn't they all be kin? If they repopulated the earth when God could just make people just like that, he can make people out of dirt. Is God sick? Was God sitting up there, just watching these people conduct themselves that way? Like, is he sick? I would argue that God, the God that's presented in this Bible is pretty sick, motherfucker. Like, what you mean be fruitful and multiply? That's my mama. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, that's my mama, bro. That's my mama now. You can just make people by snapping your fingers, right? Just put some motherfuckers out here. Like, why are you playing these games? Why are you making me be fruitful and multiply when you can just, like the clap on, clap off. Like, you can just clap on and make motherfuckers. Like, why I gotta go through all this? Why I gotta fuck my mama and shit? Like, I want you to explain away incest twice. That's all I want from you. Whatever chapters you need, I'll give you a little more time. I'm asking you. I know what it says already. You're telling me that I'm reading something wrong. Therefore, the onus is on you to tell me what I'm saying that's wrong. Incest twice. Explain it away. I don't have to read no chapters. I'm not wrongly judging shit. I already know. Incest twice. You need to explain it away. Because what you did was come back with a scripture where you said 3 sons, they had 3 wives. That means that they was all, when they had a kid, those kids will be cousins. Unless they swap wives, the original wife swappers. And they got a show now where they do that, don't they? Don't they have a show where they swap wives? And it's a reality TV show. You saying they was doing that after that part? I mean, it could have been doing that. I'm not saying they wasn't, but them kids would have been kin. I want you to explain away incest twice. That's all I'm asking here. Explain away incest 2 times. Mark says Christians will say God's the same yesterday, today, and forever. Meaning, if he was against incest in Leviticus, he can't have been for it in Genesis. It's 2 books over. He can't change that quick. If he's against incest in Leviticus, is what Mark said. In Genesis, where the hoes at? Where the hoes at? Now, we understand, historically speaking, some of these kings and queens would do that to keep their bloodline pure. They would engage in some forms of incest. Historically speaking, they would engage in that type of behavior to keep bloodlines pure. That's per history. This is outside of the Bible. But you need to explain away incest 2 times. London, you wow. London say ain't no fun unless the family can't have none. Hey, I just want him to explain it away. That's all I need. And let's not forget, human women carry children for 9 months before they give birth. Let's let that sit too. So they ain't just knocking them out like that. I mean, if any Christian want to show up, I'll leave it. It can be open. They can be jail to anybody else. Explain away incest 2 times. And if you can't explain it, I want you to take it to your pastor on Sunday and ask him to explain it away. Do whatever you gotta do. Somebody gotta explain it away 2 times. But, okay. Clearly they can't deal with all of that. Our kids can fathom these ideas, but not the fact that a racist might fuck around and be racist. We don't want to teach them that's too much. That's too far. Come on now. Just saying. Y'all know back in the day, and look, I'm going to leave them alone. I'm gonna leave them alone. Afros and Afro streams to stop messing with these church people. I used to give church folk hell. No pun intended, right? I used to give them a hard time. I done stalled them out a little bit more as I've gotten older, and I try to stall them out. But when they come through saying wild shit, it's just like, it's out of control. Don't make no damn sense. I used to go in all the time. I done stopped because you're wasting your time with church folk. I mean, with Christians, you know, you wasting your time because like we want these people that do heinous things to us to suffer in the afterlife, and we'll let this so-called justice system get away with letting this, this old white bitch, she gets off, I think her name Carol something, a cave hoe, let her get away with it. Well, we'll get our vengeance in the afterlife via them being in hell. And the idea of them burning in this hell, that's enough for me. I'll be able to sleep better at night, even though this system is shown how fucked up it is and how they will prosecute certain people for certain things. But when it comes to these caves, they real lax on how they go after them. And she got a black child murdered. You have to explain to your black child what type of system this is. You cannot leave them out here confused by the time they up next to and being integrated with and around these caves. You are doing your black child a disservice. And I even see, let me speak to this for a second too. I even see some of these spiritual black people now that are trying their best to sage their way through racism. Not gonna work. You can burn all the fucking sage you want. It's not going to work like that. You can meditate. You can do. Black folk will do any and everything outside of teaching our children. Stop. Well, let me put it in order. Stop cooning. Stop raising coons, and teach your children and yourself to unify as a people. Anything but that. You got niggas that want to burn sage, meditate, light candles, altars, all types of shit. Jesus praying, whatever the fuck, whatever it is, we want to do everything but what's necessary. Everything but what's necessary. Because what's necessary requires us to do some work. You cannot sit around and meditate away and astral plane your way through no damn racism. Not gonna happen. I'm sorry. It ain't worked. All the witches y'all got, I don't know why the fuck these witches ain't casting spells on the caves. It seems like these black witches only have spells for other black people. Why? When are y'all gonna come together, witches and warlocks alike? When are y'all gonna come together and put a spell or a hex or something on the caves? Like, it don't make sense. All that smoke is only for the black folk. All this magic only for the black folk. Not coming together to, try to defeat the caves, which I don't believe magic gonna work no goddamn way, but at least be in that vein, in that mindset. You can burn all the sage you want, ain't gonna work. But these are the type of answers that we have to try to fight racism, as we are known as the most spiritual. We are the most religious people on the planet. We are the most spiritual people on the planet. But it seems that all our religions and spirits and all the witchcraft and everything is only towards the black folk. Only towards the black folk. Why the fuck you ain't putting no hex on your manager at your job yet to make you CEO of the goddamn company tomorrow, next week? No? Why the fuck ain't you putting no goddamn spell on this motherfucker you going to get this bank loan from? Why don't you go get their name and go do a spell on them at the house so you can get that goddamn business loan you need? No, nobody. This is what I don't understand about black folk. And this is why a lot of times me and black folk, we bump heads. We don't see eye to eye on this shit. We don't see it. It don't make sense to me what black people be talking about. I understand we're in this age of motivational speakers and spirituality and, you know, signs and astrology and all this other extra ass shit. And it don't work. It doesn't work. Pragmatically, it doesn't work. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. So now, when are we going to get to the real work? When we had people like Dr. Francis Quest Welsing that laid out the blueprint, like Dr. Amos Wilson laid out the blueprint, Brother Malcolm X, Dr. Ben, like Brother Ron was talking about earlier, people that done laid out the blueprint. We don't want to do none of that work. It ain't mysticism, it ain't magic, it ain't religion, ain't none of that. We have to raise our children to understand the situation that they're in. We have no choice, whether you like it or not. And until we do that work, we're going to be fucked up out here. We're going to be fucked up out here. That's what we're going to be. The game is going to be fucked up. We have to do better about that. We can't magic our way through this. Not going to work like that. I don't give a damn if you're doing voodoo. Not working like that. Ain't working for the people over in Haiti right now. It's not working for the people, these other religions or other belief systems that they have, even in Africa. It ain't working. That ain't the way. That's not the way. We need to stop fucking playing games out here and stop trying to protect our kids from the reality of the situation that they're in. And tell them that we got here because black folk been on their knees praying for decades. That's how we got here. About to run up here and vote again for decades. That's how we got here. Because we don't want to do no real work to come together as a people and be on one mindset as far as the overall goal. And that should first be the mental liberation of our people. You cannot get mental liberation lying to your damn kids. It's not going to happen. Because once you start building them and feeding them those lies, they become inundated to those lies. And this is why when people say truth hurts, we made it that way. Truth, they don't just hurt because it hurt. It's because we raise kids on lies and the truth devastates them. We made truth hurt. White man and his mama didn't make us do that. You can't make them carry that. We did that. That's why the truth hurts our people. You got people right now grown as hell. Can't even deal with the truth. Can't even deal with reality. Because truth hurts. This become with the same. Truth hurts. Everybody say truth hurts. Why? We never stop to question why it hurts. Because you've been feeding society. You fed black society, been feeding each other lies, and that's what you're used to. Now, when you hear the truth, it does hurt. Ma'am, you need to lose some goddamn weight. Your body shaming me. Ma'am. You need to lose some weight. Not saying it to hurt your feelings. This is an observation. Truth hurts. Brother, take care of your goddamn kids. Take care of them kids. That's not a truth that's supposed to hurt. It just is what it is. We made truth hurt because we feeding all these lies to our people, all these lies to ourselves. That's why truth hurts now. That shouldn't even be something that affects us because we building our kids upon this truth. That way, by the time they're grown, they're used to hearing the truth. Oh, well, it just is what it is. It is what it is. Afros and Afro Sheen says most black people don't grow up around white people. That's why there's so much delusion. I don't know about that because if you explain why black people grow up around mostly black people, that in itself would expose the racism. It would expose the people for what they are. Why is that? Why is most black folk? What does that mean? That means that white folk, they've done pushed you into certain areas, and that's where you are. How'd you get there? Why is that? What you doing in would-be hoods or would-be ghettos? How'd you get there? How is this happening? How'd this take place? When they running highways and shit through your areas that would be prosperous, where they'll rip a goddamn highway, go clean down through it. Explain how we got there. Even if you're not around white folk, I can tell you why it was built like this. I can tell you why it exists like this. Explain white flight to them, redlining to them. Why, if too many black people you move into an area, then white folk get the fuck up out of there. So even if they don't grow up around white people, you can explain their environment to them as to how we got here, how we got to this place. And growing up around other black people should be growing up around a whole bunch of revolutionaries that's explaining this entire system to them at all times. That should be in the place and in the space where you exist, where you get the most knowledge growing up around black people. Because white folk ain't gonna do nothing but goddamn lie to you any goddamn way. Slavery over, racism gone. Being around black people should be this space in which you receive the most knowledge, but in fact, it's the space where you receive the most motherfucking lies. The one lesson that you'll learn growing up specifically and mostly around black people is fuck the police. That's as far as we make it. That's as far as we dig. That's as far as it goes. And it shouldn't be like that. Fuck the police. Okay. What's next? To me, that's not an excuse. To me, that's not an excuse. That's funny. I'm going to tell you what's funny about this statement right here. Let me see where it was. Jeremy said hindsight should be 2020, but it's 2022. In the year so-called 2020, black folk were saying, because, you know, that hindsight 2020 and all this shit, that was supposed to be the year that black people's eyes just opened up. And we got all this knowledge. I mean, of course, you have these times where black people are getting all of this powers and mysticism and magic and awakening and all this other extra shit. But in 2020, so-called 2020, black folks supposed to have all this vision. Supposed to be doing all this awakening. Not so much. Not so much. Not so much. Young Rick, you ain't lying. Half of the OGs don't know shit. I would say most of the motherfucking OGs don't know shit. They don't know anything. They don't know anything. Now, they know hood shit. But to me, that's just a piece of your knowledge. It's a piece of your wisdom. I know hood shit. That's a piece. That's what I came up in. That's a piece of my understanding. I understand the slang. I understand, you know, the dope games, and I understand all that shit. That's a piece of knowledge. But these OGs, they don't know shit. They don't know shit. There's no reason black men should be still sitting around in neighborhoods killing each other over corners and blocks that they don't own. It doesn't make any sense. I saw a video clip somebody sent to me, and it was, I think it was Judge Mathis, and he was ranting and raving about Black Lives Matter and how most of those protests and marches are held by black women and white kids. And he talked about how black men were sitting around out here killing each other, as opposed to educating the younger men in those areas to want to live a better life. Now, most of the shit he said, I don't agree with, because he was talking about Black Lives Matter like that's a real organization, like that really meant something for our people to be standing out in the streets talking about Black Lives Matter. That's bullshit. That organization is trash. And Judge Mathis, as a judge, motherfucker, I know what you did with your career. I know what you did with your career. And you spent your time locking black people up. I don't give a damn what no judge say to me. That's what they do. That's what they're put in place for, is to lock mostly black people up. That's why you got mostly black people in the prisons. Don't matter how many black judges you got out here. First of all. Secondly, Black Lives Matter is not a real organization. Judge Mathis was right, though. Black men in these communities, they pass down more hood shit. Like that ain't, It is not saving our kids. It's not saving our communities. It's not stopping these young black men from going out here murdering each other for no fucking reason over dumb shit. Over the dumbest shit. That's trash. That's a trash mentality. You can know all about the hood, know all about the hood shit, know all about the gang shit. You can know all of that. That's a piece of knowledge that you have. You know how to navigate through the hood. I can go to the hood. I know how to navigate. No problem. That's a piece of my understanding, a piece of my knowledge. It's a piece. But I still know engage or going to the would-be hood that I'm more likely to be gunned down by a black man than anybody else. That's a sad piece of knowledge. I'm more likely to be accosted by a black man than anybody else. That's a sad piece of knowledge. And these OGs that are in these hoods, grow old in these hoods, haven't been able to reel these young men in and let them know you're doing some stupid ass shit. Stop. It's sad. It's sad as fuck. I understand that as a part of the reality. I don't leave that out the lessons that I teach my children either. There's some coons out here that are on full-blown coon time. They exist. Watch your motherfucking back and your front and your side and your other motherfucking side. And with the way some of these niggas are, you might need to look up every once in a while too. You never know. These niggas come diving out the goddamn sky. That's a part of the lesson. You have to cover everything. That's your job as a parent. Period. I don't care where you born at. If you born in the hood or whatever, wherever you born, that's a part of your job as a parent. If you having kids in the hood, that's a part of your job as a parent. We have to stop trying to skip over this part because that's what I noticed that we like to do. Black men like to push the responsibility solely on the women. That's something I'm seeing black men do time and time again. It ain't saving our children, though. Ain't doing nothing to save our children. You can say it's the women's fault. You can do all that shit. That ain't saving our children. It's not teaching them anything at all. So what are we going to do about that? It's when somebody sent me that video, they was like, look at this coon ass nigga. And I listened to what he had to say, Judge Mathis. And I know recently, his son came out or some shit like that. So he got a flaming, son or whatever. But there was some truth in that. There was some truth in that. He could have dispelled a lot of agendas and he didn't do that. And that's why I don't respect him as a person. I don't respect him as a person. But there's some truth in that about what the fuck, where are the black men when it comes to us raising our children better in these areas? It is what it is. It is what it is. Now, when he's talking about motherfucking niggas sitting in the house playing PlayStation all day and all that old shit, that's just him taking shots or whatever. I didn't fuck with that. I didn't fuck with that at all. But I couldn't deny that black men are in these areas killing each other, young black men killing each other for no fucking reason. No reason. Don't make sense. Don't make any sense. But listen, I hope the message was clear tonight. Because we got off a little bit. We got off and got in on the Christians and shit like that. But I hope the message is clear. People like Tyler Perry, who have that mentality, because it's not just him. You cannot protect your child by lying to them. We have to stop believing that. That's something that we can stop. The white man and his mama don't control that. That's something that we can control. We control what information our children get, when they get it, and the way that they understand how propaganda moves around them. Because there's a lot of propaganda out here that's anti-black, anti-heterosexual now. A lot of propaganda out here. We can explain it to our children so they can see through that propaganda. They can see through it. I don't know if y'all remember those pictures. I know, at least I don't know what I was in college or where they would have these, these digitized pictures, and they weren't anything. You had to look at them a certain way to be able to see the picture that was coming out at them. You had to train your eyes to see, and some people couldn't do it. I didn't have an issue with it. I would just look at it for a little while. You kind of blur your vision, and the image would come out at you. It would just pop out at you. You'd be able to see what it was. That's the vision that we need to train our children to have. Therefore, and that way, the propaganda, they'll be able to see through it. But we don't want to do the work. We don't want to do the work. Or we want to wait till it's too late. So our kid is being called a nigger, or they got a noose around their neck at some school, or some cave ass teacher that had them at a slave auction, or we want to be reactionary after the fact. But how are you raising your child? What are you teaching your child? Are you telling them the motherfucking truth? Or are you scared to tell them the truth? Why does truth hurt? This is shit that we can control. But that's all the fuck I want to say on this one, y'all. Y'all know I'll come back. I may not be announcing this shit right. And I know. I'm trash for that. But follow me everywhere. Subscribe to this channel, like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell. That way, when I do go live, there's more of a likely chance that YouTube may notify you. They don't want to do this shit. I understand why they don't want this type of message out here. But y'all, show the love. If you want to order, hey, we here. Because it can start with something as simple as this. Us wearing our own heroes. Us defining who our heroes are. The people we look up to. The link to order any type of merchandise from me in the description box so we can start wearing our people on our clothing. All right? Mad love. Shout out to Team Rob. Y'all already know what the fuck it is. Black first, second, and third. I'm out.